Well, here we are on the bus again. Y'all saw that video yesterday of me and old Roy working the pump house again. And that was, I don't know what time it was, probably about 11 o'clock. Almost midnight, I don't remember, but they, one of the foremen came and got me. And they had the reason I was in the pump house to begin with is they had about 9 of them buffaloes working. And the foreman immediately, the two foremen were bullshitting with each other, and they said, man, there's just too many buffaloes. There's too many buffaloes. We don't know where to send them. Da 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 da. And I said right away, I said, hey, look, that buffalo I'm in ain't got no heater, and it's pretty fucking cold. So if you don't got enough room for buffaloes, why don't you just send me over to Roy at the pump house? Because I said it's a whole lot fucking warmer working, carrying that fucking hose and shit, than it is driving that fucking truck. And that truck, that buffalo I was in, it's what they call a side shooter. It has 2 pipes that come out either side behind the tires, and they're not very big, and it don't put down a lot of water. It's really not a great truck compared to the other ones. And the foreman said, well, yeah, that's actually a good idea. All the pump houses had 2 attendants except for Roy. He was by himself. I said, send me over there. I'll work with Roy. They said, okay. So I go over there and worked, till almost midnight. Then one of the foremen showed up and they said, hey, we're going to have to put you in one of them buffaloes because one of the water, I don't remember if it was a box. Anyway, one of the other big water trucks froze up. And they said, now we need some water. I said, right on, take me to a buffalo. Well, there was 2 buffaloes, and the one was supposed to be a lot better than the one I was in, so they took me over to that one first. It shoots a lot of water, and it's got a heater in it. But I sat down in that fucking seat, and the air compressor seat didn't work. And so I slammed all the way down to the ground and fucking jolted my fucking back, and then I got in the fuse box, because that truck I was working in, the bad buffalo that I was in, that seat don't work either, but it don't work because there's no fuse in there, in the fuse box. So you get your flashlight out and you pull out the 10 amp fuse for the dome light, and you stick it in the air compressor hole for the fuse for the seat, and pump it up, and then put the fucking fuse back in the dome light, no problem. But there's no heat. So I sat down in that seat, and I told my foreman, she's a buffalo driver. I said, look, Isis, I said, I'm 290 pounds. I can't fucking drive this motherfucker. I said, you might as well put me in that one with no heat, because I'll take no heat over no seat. And she said, goddamn, Fairbanks, I believe it. She said, because she's kind of a small, petite little girl. And she said, I can't fucking drive without a seat. I know you can't. I said, yeah, fucking ain't right. So she drove me back over to the shitty buffalo, and I got in it, did about 4 loads. You can only get about 1 load an hour in that motherfucker. So it was about midnight to about 4:45 that I did 4 loads. But then at the end of the night, when I got to line up, got everything shut down. Not shut down, because you don't turn anything off up here, because it'll never start again. But I got lined up, and then this kid jumped in there. I said, what are you doing? You hot seating me, or what's up? He said, oh, I got to drive this truck to New Itzig, to the shop. I said, oh, okay. Well, then I immediately knew something was wrong, because I already lost 1 truck. Now the 1 truck that they found for me to drive, it was fucking leaving. So today I get on the bus. Today I get on the fucking bus, and my old foreman, who's running the B70s, he said, get on my bus. And I was like, no. B70 is Anyway, about 10 fucking years ago, I was in a pretty bad logging accident, and I fucking fucked my back up real bad, cracked a bunch of vertebrae, and I didn't fucking walk for about 4 months. And it's taken me almost 10 fucking years to get over it, you know? And like, I'm in pretty good shape now, and like, jostling around in the rock truck and the water buffalo is pretty hard on me, but I can control it, you know? I can control what I do in it. So, oh, here comes the fueler. Anyway, I can control what I do in it. Like, I've twinged my back a few times here, but I don't say nothing to nobody. But the B-70s, they're one of the roughest driving motherfuckers on the face of the planet. And to unload them, to unload the belly dump, you get slammed by a dozer. And so I got on the bus, and I listened to all the speeches, and I went to that foreman. I said, what you got me doing out here? He said, driving a B-70. I said, man, I've been fucking crippled up one time. I said, I'm not going to do it. And he said, why is that? And I said, I fucking broke my back 10 years ago. I said, I'm not fucking going to do this. You know, I said, put me back in a pump house, do whatever, but I'm not getting in a B-70. And he seemed a little disappointed. Me and that foreman get along real good, you know, and I think he knows that I'm not some fucking, I ain't no fucking limp dick no load motherfucker, you know. I got my limits. Want to be able to make it home. And you know, when I first had my cubs, my back was still a little bit fucked up, and like I re-injured it again, but not real bad. But like there was a few month period where I couldn't even fucking pick my kids up, and I don't ever want to experience that again, you know. And you know, I just said I can't do that. I can't do that. So you find something else. So he said, we'll get on the bus and we'll figure something out. But like, I might have just signed up for a plane ticket to come home. And like, I spent most of my fucking money from my last gig on our wedding and our little honeymoon and stuff. So Lord knows I could use the money, but not at the expense of being fucking crippled. There's been about 4 guys that's already gone home with injuries. One guy got pushed off the side of a mountain by the dozer. As the dozer was pushing him, because the dozer's got to slam into the back of your trailer to open up the dump beds. Well, when he slammed him and started pushing him, he jackknifed. The dozer hand didn't notice, and he pushed him right off the overburden pile, which is about a 3-story mountain made out of dirt. That motherfucker got all fucked up. There was another guy last night. He got slammed by the dozer so hard that he come out of his seat, cracked his head open on the fucking windshield. And you know, I hate to fucking sound like a fucking pussy or whatever they want to say, but like, I'm not doing it, you guys. I'm not doing it. The rock truck and the buffalo are pretty rough, you know, but I'm driving it. I can control it. I go fairly easy. I find them holes and I inch down in them, and then, you know, put my water in or do whatever, and it's not so bad. I got somebody come, I don't know what's going on here. All right, I gotta go. All right, hey, we're back. I didn't really have to go, but there were 2 guys out here working on something, and you know, I can't sit in a warm fucking bus and watch 2 guys work out in the fucking 50 below weather. That ain't right. So I went out there. Guy looked real surprised. I said, hey, you guys need a hand with anything? He said, no, we're just checking the water fluid in this thing, but I don't know if we need any or not. He said, you're the only motherfucker get out and ask if I need help. I said, shit, I'm just sitting in that warm bus doing nothing. I said, that ain't right. I said, we're all on the same team out here, man. You gotta help where you can. But anyway, yeah. I don't remember exactly what I was saying. I should have watched those few minutes of video. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's just that B-70. And like I told them when I first got here, they knew all about it. My buddy Dave O'Brien, who works here, who's the underboss of the B-70s. When I fucking broke my back logging fucking 10 years ago, when the paramedics showed up, they couldn't fucking pick me up and get me up the fucking hill to the ambulance, you know, and I fucking The last bit of strength I had before I passed out from pain is I grabbed one of them by the scruff of the neck. And I said, get the fuck away from me and call David O'Brien. And Dave O'Brien and my buddy Bobby Justin, they're the ones that picked me up. Picked me up like a couple of fucking angels. Hauled me up that fucking hill and put me in that ambulance. So I'm surprised that I even got put on the B70 list, you know. Because about a week ago, me and Dave were sitting there eating, and he looked at me and said, you remember when I picked you up and put you in that ambulance, or were you too fucked up? I said, man, I'm the one that fucking told him to call you to help me. But anyway, I don't like fucking admitting any kind of weakness or whatever, but you know, like I said, when my kids were not first born, but when they were just getting up to be like 2, you know, I'd fucking hurt my back, and sometimes it spasms out, and I go down, and but yeah, I went like a month there, and I wasn't even able to pick them up, couldn't play with them, and I don't want to do that. Especially now, you know, my kid's mom is being real fucking difficult. She's got some new boyfriend hanging around my fucking kids, and I'm not even... She has a hard time fucking answering the phone when I call. It's like she's, you know, trying to get him a new dad or something, you know. And I told my kid's mom, I said, look, my wife, those kids love my wife, and she's not my girlfriend anymore, it's my wife. That's their stepmother. And I think that you should let them see her, because they love her and she loves them. You know, I said, I think you should let her see him. And of course she didn't want to, in scheduling, and then like, you know, she's like, well, she can't visit them unless I'm there. I said, that's their stepmom, you know. And then, but she let her come over there one time, and the kids, man, my cubs just love Miss Elizabeth like nothing else, you know. They really do. When we provide a good environment for them, and no animosity, no drama, no anger, you know. And they were so happy to see her. And when she ended up having to leave, man, they just had a meltdown. And my son told his mom, they call her Jobby. I don't know why. You know how kids just come up with names. But my cub, he said, I go with Jobby. And my daughter just grabbed onto her leg and wouldn't let her go. And like, you know, I think their mom holds a bit of animosity toward that. Because ever since that day, she won't fucking answer my phone calls. She won't do this. She won't do that. It's hard to get a hold of them. And like, she's being fucking spiteful. And she's got some boyfriend hanging around there. And I said, hey, you know, you got some man hanging around my fucking kids, and I'm up here and I don't even get to see them. You need to let their stepmother visit them and see them. You know, and like my kid's mom, she's been mad at me for being up here. She said I need you to come back so you can watch the kids, you know. And like, I told her, I said, they have a stepmother that loves them to death and that they love. And if you need somebody to watch the kids, she can do it, because I'm working. And, but that ain't gonna work, you know. But I found out too late, but that's how their mom is, you know. She likes to complain. She likes to say that there's a problem, and then when you come up with a solution, she just says, no, that won't work. Then you say, well, how about this? And then, no, that's not gonna work for me. And then you say, well, how about this? And no, that's not gonna work for me. And then, you know, it's just the fact that, like, oh, you want to fucking complain and you want to fucking have a fucking problem. And, like, I guess that's one of the reasons why we're not together, you know. Because I'm a fucking doer and I'm a fixer. And she's just a complainer. And I ain't trying to fucking, you know, everybody complains about their ex or whatever, but, and I ain't trying to do that, but it ain't right. It ain't right for her to keep my wife, their stepmother, because that was the other thing, you know, I never pushed it when we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, because I don't feel like there's no real claim there, you know, but that's my wife, that's my legal wife, that's their stepmother, and now she certainly has a right to be in their lives, even if I'm not there. But that's not the way that their mother sees it, and she's just being difficult. That's what she does. She's you know, and I'm not saying any of this out of anger or animosity. I'm saying it out of, I was raised and born a hunter, and I watch and I observe, and I come to conclusions after I've mulled around all the fucking information. And you know, she's spiteful, and my kid's mother is a spiteful, miserable person, and she has to make everyone else around her miserable, you know, and that's the only way that she can live her life. And so that's what she's trying to do to me and my wife now, trying to fuck our shit up, you know, which I won't let her. It's just happenstance that today, you know, they put me on something that I'm not gonna do, and I just told them, I said, if you don't got nothing for me to do, man, get me a plane ticket, because, you know, I mean, I needed to stay this stint, because me and the missus, you know, we had a real good fucking R&R, and we had a real good time, and, you know, I was positive I was going to come back and work again, so, you know, I gave her a really nice honeymoon at the best hotel in Anchorage, you know, and we had a good time, and I bought those rings for us, you know, which I've never really worn jewelry, but I knew if I was ever going to wear a ring, it was going to be an Alaskan gold quartz and gold nugget ring, you know, because that's what the old timers, when I was a kid in Alaska, man, that's what the old timers fucking did. And to me, it was always like a real status symbol, and like it took us a long time to even find those types of rings, because they're not in vogue anymore, you know, but ain't no amount of money worth fucking getting crippled over, getting hurt over. So I'm just waiting on this bus. Maybe if they'll find, you know, I said, just take me back to the fucking pump house, I'll help. Even them two guys that showed up, I don't even know them guys, and they call it an EnviroVac. It's the shitter house. You know, them guys come to check the water in it and pump it full of water. Fuck, I got out immediately. I said, hey, you guys need a hand with anything, you know? And that guy, he was just amazed. He said, don't nobody ask anybody if they need help. I said, fuck, we're all on the same team. But I was raised Alaskan. I was raised by the old people, and that's what you fucking do, man. And there's a lot of these new guys, even these older guys, you know, they think it's cool to cuss and belittle people and treat them like shit instead of trying to help them and teach them to be better. And that ain't right. That ain't right. Just like that guy I talked about the other day who wanted to talk shit about Dave when he wasn't around. It just ain't right. And I was straight with the foreman. I said, hey, I can't do this. You know? Can't do it. Won't do it. I'm fucking 40 years old, you know, like, the V70s, they get the young guys to do it, like the 18 and 20 year olds, and everybody knows it's a fucking terrible job. And they get the young guys to do it, and when they won't do it, they fucking tell them, they go, oh, what are you, a pussy? Oh, what, this and that, and like, you can fucking fool young guys into doing shit. And when I was young, I was one of them guys. That's how I ended up with a broken fucking back at a logging camp, you know? But like, I'm 40 years old, and like, those days for me are over. I know who I am, and I know what I've fucking been through, and I just don't give a fuck. what any of these fuckers think. If they want to go outside and fucking tangle, I'll be more than happy. And they might fucking beat my ass, but it's gonna be a lot of work for them, you know. Anyway, I don't know what's gonna happen. They might be sending me home because I refuse to get in that B70, but I'll find more work. Dylan, I might be coming to see you, baby. I don't know. Anyway, I got another pickup truck coming over here, so maybe it's for me. I gotta go. I love you guys.